celebrating our connection with our pets. This is Animal Radio. Here are your hosts, Hal Abrams and Judy Francis.
The whole gang, the family is here in place to answer your questions. Vlade, the world-famous Russian dog wizard, animal communicator Joy Turner, dog father Joey Villani, veterinarian Dr. Debbie, Bobby working on news. Bobby, you got headphone hair today.
Thank you. That's nice, Hal.
Well, I just thought, people that don't know what headphone hair is, we put our headphones on when we do our radio. Nice. Sometimes when our hair is wet, you'll see this.
It's like hat hair, only on the sides.
Yeah. Morning men. Your favorite morning man on the radio? You'll see he'll have head hair when he walks out in the morning because he comes to work with wet hair and he puts that headphone on and it looks. It's true. You know that.
These intimate behind-the-scenes details of morning radio.
You went to the manager a few minutes ago, Bobby. I hope you don't mind me saying this. You asked, can I say dry hump on the air? Is that going to be a problem with you? You actually have dry hump within the contents of
a
your
newscast. Yes.
There will be
not just I wanted to come on there and go, hi, dry hump, because that would just be salacious.
I see that you have a dry hump reference in your news. I'm very excited about this. I'm not even going to ask any more what it's about.
The fact that you are excited about the words dry hump, Hal, no surprise. But continue.
Also in the news, I see that your shedding animal could be helpful with this oil crisis. This
absolutely
in the Gulf.
Really?
Cleanup
through Petco stores.
I want to learn more about.
If you were thinking of grooming your pet at any time, do it now and do it at Petco.
They take the hair and they'll actually be cleaning up that oil in the Gulf. I don't ask.
They do that.
Yeah,
it's in the news. I'll explain it because I didn't understand it either, which is why I looked it up. It's my job. It's really very logical.
You see, at first I thought they were going to send the entire animal down there and then use them like sponges.
Yeah, put them all in the water.
Yeah, that's not the situation.
Be good.
Okay. More info.
Judy, make a note. Don't bring Hal with us on any rescue missions.
Okay.
You stay home, just watch TV. You'll be fine.
In your pretty little white jacket.
That's it, honey. You just sit there and think about pretty little things. Look, something shiny.
Hal likes birds.
Oh, that's good. It's like one of those cats sits in the window all day.
I am standing right here, right?
Oopsies!
We're still taking nominations for the big poop bag dispenser. We want to put it up in either a rest area or a park or a beach that is plagued by dog poop. People that don't clean up, perhaps because they don't have a bag with them. We have one of these commercial-grade poop bag dispensers, and so we'll be taking more nominations this week at 1-866-405-8405. Do some thinking. Remember that one park you went to that just had a lot of crap? Call us. Tell us about it right now. It's toll-free. We'll pay for these crap stories.
But you don't have
to. But you don't have to pay for them.
That's right.
Dr. Debbie's answering your vet medical questions. Give me some of those pretzels, Doc.
You've been trying to get my bag here all day.
Do we have the innuendo sounder? Okay, there you go. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I was just eating my pretzels and trying to chug down my Diet Coke here before we got started. You know me. I got to get my energy going for the day.
You don't like the donuts that we have set out. Of course, today I didn't bring in donuts. I was late today, and Joey's already...
He's a little upset
about that.
You don't want Joey to get upset now.
But notice...
I feed him with the sugar, and it keeps him happy.
All of us are a little slow today because we don't have our sugar fix. And so those pretzels look really good to me. Bobby is working on an AP poll. It's a pet side poll. It showed 54% of people going out to get their next pet would get their pet from an adoption agency or a shelter as opposed to a pet store, which is great.
I bet 20 years ago, you wouldn't hear of that.
Oh, it's changed so much. You find out now
people are more aware of the puppy mills and all of that. So, they're way more aware.
And, of course, these animals that get in these stores from puppy mills, sometimes they have a lot of problems. We hear this week in, week out. They have problems going to the bathroom because they basically learned standing on grids, wires to go right there. And so it's no wonder that they have problems when they get them home. Or they have some kind of health issue. We always hear about that.
Get me going on that. I used to work with some pet stores, and I picked up so many congenital problems. It was just heart-wrenching. I had to get out of that world. It just, you wouldn't believe the things I get through.
And if you're still one of those people that might be influenced to go to a pet store to get your pet, listen up. Not the thing to do. So many reasons. Let's see. We have Dr. Debbie here, dog father Joey Villani, animal communicator Joy Turner, and, of course, Vlade, the world-famous Russian dog wizard, to answer your questions. It's toll-free at 1-866-405-8405 right now.
This is
Animal Radio.
Hi, this is Michelle Stafford from the Young and Restless on Animal Radio. And remember, spay and neuter your pets.
Celebrating our connection with our pets. This is Animal Radio. Here are your hosts, Hal Abrams and Judy Francis.
No, those are just the blowhards, pretty much. Now, Judy, you work pretty hard. Everybody else really is the key. We're just sort of the glue. Dr. Debbie answering your vet medical questions. She went to college to be here today. I didn't. She's the only one here that could get called away in an emergency. Mm-hmm. I don't know, Bobby, you could get called away in a news emergency.
Well, yeah, news emergency, yeah. That would be true. Or I would be called away in emergency if you say got arrested and needed bail.
Yeah, and she's done that before, by the way. Thank you, and I owe you for that. Dog father Joey Villani is here, although he probably couldn't get called away for a grooming emergency.
Oh, you never know. If a dog has a bad haircut and it's,
bad hair day.
Bad hair day.
Ooh, bad hair emergency. I guess he could. Animal communicator Joy Turner, certainly there might be a spiritual emergency that she could get called away for. And Vlade, well, what if your dog bit some other dog? That would be an emergency for him. Really, everybody here could get called away for an emergency except me. I'm just here, and we're all here at your beck and call at 1-866-405-8405. Yes, the mess in the Gulf with the oil. Mm. They're looking for all kinds of solutions to really clean that up and to get the oil contained. And one of them may be your pet's hair. Now, we have, that's the name of her. The studio cat. Her name's a whole different thing. But she's a shedder, let's say. You put your hand, run your hand down her back, and you will have another cat in your hand by the time you're done. Just one rub, pretty much. Wondering how that hair could possibly help with the oil spill. Details coming up in the news. Is that really what you're working on there?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And it was, I thought, how can you just throw blobs of cat and dog hair at an oil spill? Apparently there is a science to it. It's not just throwing the blob. I will give you details, guaranteed, coming up in the news.
Very good. Also, Frontier Airlines jumping on the bandwagon to allow pets in the cabin. Details on the news coming up in just a few minutes. Let's hit the phones right now. 1-866-405-8405. Well, hey, Bill, how are you doing today?
Good. How you doing?
Very good. Where are you calling from?
I'm on the road in Indiana.
That's where I hail from. So what part of Indiana you at?
I'm right outside Remington.
Okay, further down south. All right. Very fine area. Well, hi, this is Dr. Debbie. What can I do for you today?
Hi, well, thanks for taking my call. Yes, I have 3 dogs. 3 out of my 6 dogs all suffer from itching and scratching and chewing themselves to the point to where they draw blood and look horrible.
Okay.
All of our dogs are on Frontline Plus, on Hot Guard. They have a bath every 10 days. They have fish oil in their Beneful food, and only 3 of the 6 dogs suffer from this.
Okay. Well, when we have multiple dogs that are all kind of having the same signs, I guess the bottom line is I always go back to the possibility of parasites. And even though they're on some good products for flea and tick control, I would have to say that's where I'm going to start at the root of the problem here. What part of the country do your dogs reside in?
In southern Alabama.
Oh, yeah, down where everything's nice and moist, and we definitely have lots of opportunities for parasites. So I would definitely say Frontline Plus is a great product for fleas. I might see about even adding in some other oral products to see if we can help amp up things here and do more of an what they call integrated flea control. The other thing I would suggest to check out is to get a skin scraping. And so basically, when we're looking for other types of parasites that aren't visible to the naked eye, we look at doing a microscopic test called a skin scraping. So we take a little bit of a surface abrasion from the skin and we look under the microscope. And that would be important to see if we've got any type of contagious skin mites, little microscopic critters that look like little, they're cool. They kind of look like little spiders, if you will, under a microscope. But there are certain types of those that can be transmissible between pets, and even some degree of susceptibility between which pets might be more affected by that. But that would be something important I'd want to make sure before we go using a lot of different shampoos and anti-itch remedies and all that, because you can get down the wrong path if we don't get a good diagnosis first and foremost. Then I'd say we have a better effect at trying to get everybody comfortable and get them all treated. Now, which are the itchy dogs? What kind of breeds do we have?
We have a white purebred German Shepherd who weighs 140 pounds. We have a pit bull boxer, and we have a beagle, a purebred beagle. Now, the animals that aren't infected are a purebred beagle, a Dalmatian English setter mix, and a terrier lab mix. And they all live in the same. We have an 1.5 acres fenced in. We spray it once a month with triaz, the ground.
Okay.
We vacuum. You know, we're at a wit's end.
Yeah, and I think that would be my best recommendation, is to get to the heart of that. Otherwise, what would be the possibility you have, 3 allergic pets that are all in the same household? Yeah, it could happen, definitely. It certainly could. And in those situations, I would want to make sure we're getting on the right track there. So there's a lot of things we can use for suspected allergies, but I'm going to say let's make sure we don't have a lot of these other problems with parasites or skin infections. Oh, bacterial infections and hot spots are so common in the South. So those would be things that, get us veterinarians all excited because we like ooey, gross skin. And, it's not cool for your dogs, definitely. But, there's a lot there that we can do. And it might just mean getting hands on and getting some samples from those areas that are really particularly icky looking, if that sounds good to you.
Yes, that's what I'll have. I'll have my wife I'll call her up and I'll have her take the shepherd, who seems to be suffering the worst, in to have that skin sample taken and see what we can find out.
Yes, very good. That would be awesome, Bill, and I wish you best wishes. And one other point that might be interesting for folks that have white pigmented dogs, so white hair coats, we do tend to see sometimes more allergies in those pets. So the white pit bulls, the white German shepherds, you name it, and they can definitely have more problems with allergies. So best wishes with you, Bill, and I hope everyone's done scratching soon.
Could allergies like that be food related at all?
Absolutely. Very good point.
Judy, I see you're bringing in your blue music today.
Yeah, I'm a big Elton John fan.
Are you?
Yeah.
Getting all of our requests for blue songs because they're our sponsor, Blue Buffalo. Mm-hmm. They make healthy and holistic natural food for dogs and cats. You love them like family, so feed them like family with Blue. Now, of course, Elton John has many cats, and he certainly feeds them Blue. I know that.
Of course. Hal knows everything.
And if not,
you should.
Yeah.
I hope that's true.
If you're listening, Elton.
You want to feed them the protein-rich Blue Wilderness. It's now grain-free. Be sure your dog is getting all the meat that he loves in a 100% grain-free recipe. Blue Buffalo. Send that to Elton.
Lawsuits scare me, Hal.
Dogs or cats, horse or emu, animals are people too. A news story heard around the world about Japanese women being shocked to find out their poodles were actually lambs appears to be a hoax. Or is it? It started when film star Maiko Kawakami was a guest on a Japanese TV show and was complaining about her new poodle who didn't bark or eat any dog food. She mentioned that while at a nail salon, she heard someone tell how rich women were being scammed into buying poodles that were actually lambs. Well, police in Japan deny having any cases involving a poodle lamb scam, but the story took a life of its own, appearing in newspapers and on TV worldwide. I'm Fritz Savage for Animal Radio. Animals are people too. Animal Radio.
As you all know, many emails. I would like to address two most common for the last few weeks, which I received. People asking me, Vladdy, what the heck dog training color you are always recommending? And my answer would be Hermspringer, it's a German, Hermspringer dog training colors. Very humane, very gentle, create a gentle grip through the neck, imitate the doggy mama bite, will not hurt, will not harm your pets. And this is would be starting point of dealing with underworld pets. I highly suggest you get for your little terrorist peach color.
He does have a very bad attitude.
We can keep complaining or we can take the actions. This is the only color I solely approve. They are very humane.
What is the name of it?
Strong color with quick release by company Hermspringer.
And that's spelled HERMSPRENGER. And of course, we have links at the Animal Radio website.
Got it.
Sometimes people are crazy. Dogs are okay. That's for sure.
Hello, this is Lauriston Crockett, creator and founder of The Gift for Life. The Gift for Life is the most powerful and effective anti-aging product for dogs in the world. This is a fast-acting product that is far beyond anything else you've ever seen. No more empty promises. I will give you a 100% money-back guarantee if The Gift for Life doesn't help, support, and rejuvenate your pet's health. Order today and change your pet's life tomorrow. www.thegiftforlife.com or call 877-373-6851.
When I went looking for a quality allergen-free dog food for Roscoe, a friend told me about canine caviar. Being a born skeptic, I examined every ingredient and, most importantly, made sure it drove our dog's taste buds crazy. Here's the lowdown. Canine caviar is holistic, allergen-free, with raw dehydrated meats, herbs, fish oil, and flaxseed for health and joint support. Good food for Roscoe from a company I can trust. Ask your pet store for canine caviar. Learn more at caninecaviar.com.
This is
Animal Radio, baby.
Well, Joey, you saved another one. It wasn't a half hour after we got off work last week that someone called and said their dog got into a skunk, and your tip saved them a lot of money, and their dog is smelling fresh again. Yeah.
See, I'm not surprised, but I'm happy. I'm happy I'm able to help.
And you're saving people a lot of money too. I'm writing down these tips. I'm going to write a book, and of course, with your permission. No?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, the thing with skunks, it's not only the money thing, man. People would pay anything to get rid of that smell.
And they'll go out and they'll buy tons of tomato juice thinking that's going to be the cure for it.
Did you ever notice, though, when a dog gets sprayed by a skunk, it's usually in the middle of the night. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen early. It's usually like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Funny how that works.
Yes, it's always that way.
Yes.
At least in New Jersey it was.
If you missed Joey's tip last week, it's up at the website at animalradio.com. Learn how to get rid of that skunk smell. Here's some tips the week before how to clean your pet if you're on the road using simple ingredients like cornstarch.
Yes, a waterless bath.
I like that stuff. Good stuff. We're glad to have Joey Villani on Animal Radio. What kind of tip will you be talking about later?
You know what? Somebody on my website sent me a letter about she had a Siberian Husky. And she wants to de-shed the dog, but what happens is the hair becomes overwhelming. So, do you want me to start talking about this now? Are we ready for my tip?
This is a tease.
This is the tease into it.
Yeah.
So, hold on. Let me tease in. So, we're going to learn how to get that hair off of your dog without it being a total mess and disaster all over you and your home.
Okay,
How's that tease?
That's awesome. Coming up with Joey Villani, dog father Joey Villani on Animal Radio. Dr. Debbie's here, animal communicator Joy Turner, Vladi, the world-famous Russian dog wizard, Susan Sims, 1-866-405-8405. It's toll-free. And we're still taking your nominations on good places to put our commercial-grade poop bag dispenser. Hey, Vlad, how you doing?
Good. Judy, dressed up today. You look so hot.
Doesn't she?
Well,
yes, I feel like I'm going to mark you. Like spray you around and things like that.
I guess that's a compliment, right?
From me, it is. It's a big compliment.
I think we should go to line 2 where we have. Is it Steve? Hey, Steve, how are you doing?
Hey, sir.
Where are you today?
I'm down in Mobile, Alabama, rolling through to Pensacola.
Okay, well, Pensacola is a nice place. You have ultimately a good destination. I have Vladi, the world-famous Russian dog wizard here. He can help you with your problems. What's going on?
Hi, Steve. Right. Hi, Steve. World-famous. He re-switched some words, but it's okay. I forgive him today. Okay, Steve, let's do this. Please don't give me background. Just let's do today a little bit differently. You just tell me. Give me the question. For instance, Vladi, I want to stop my, let's say, stupid Labrador Retriever to do this. Or, Vladi, please help to stop my poodle to pee. And if I need background, I will ask you. That's where we're going to do it much faster. So go ahead.
How do I stop my long-haired Chihuahua from biting people's ankles and from time to time pooping under my nephew's bed?
Oh, I so relate to that. I so do, because just Friday, because even though I'm kind of celebrity, I am celebrity, but I still do in-home training. I still come into the people's home almost every day, and taking care of the issues. And Friday I was supposed to pick one dog to my boot camp. So I got in and knocked the door, and the dog behind the door, like AK-47 downtown Beirut. And I opened the door, and that little chihuahua just attacked on me and started to bite my ankles and all that stuff. And I was jumping in the air. Here is what you can do yourself. I'm pretty sure that your chihuahua is like to bite in other people when they come in, or maybe not to bite, maybe in the beginning like to bark, and that's a very common behavior. Number one, you have to focus on her negative behavior. You have to stop her from this action. Positive reinforcement is not going to work in this situation, because your dog is like a race car. You need to push on the brake. Let's stop it first. How you can do this? You can do one of two. You can use one of two methods. Method number one: if you are drinking Pepsi-Cola or Coca-Cola or any other pop drink, you can get that soda can, put some pennies inside, and don't think you know the answer, because you don't. We're not going to shake that stupid can. No. We are going to toss it on the floor next to her as we move forward and sharply say one canine word. And we're just gonna drop this can as we say. She will be shocked. She will be stopped. From that time, you can just smile and say, "Good girl, good boy," and you will need to confine her. You can put her behind the barrier or in the crate and allow the people approaching closer and give to her piece of the most delicious treats. But please ask them no eye contact. Ask them maybe kneel down, let the chihuahua sniff their butts. I'm serious. Dogs sniffing each other's butts. It's like going to the Yahoo or Google for information. So it's not threatening move from their perspective. Person needs to kneel down, go sidewise, allow another dog sniff him, and offer the treats. Most delicious than anything else. Like I don't care, piece of kielbasa, caviar, vodka, whatever. I know it's not the Russian dog, so it's not going to work here. So from that time, ask the person back up and re-enter the house. Do it a few times. Do it with different people. And boy, if you're going to be bad cop and the people going to be good cop, it's going to stop just like that. Once you stop it, when she is in the crate behave or behind the barrier behave like this, you can let her go and ask the person to continue to feed her.
Give that a shot, Steve. Let us know how that works there. And of course, every time Vlade mentions kielbasa, I get hungry for some strange reason. 1-866-405-8405 to talk to any one of the dream team here. Could be Dr. Debbie, dog father Joey Villani, animal communicator Joey Turner, or Vlade, the world-famous Russian dog wizard. Well, hey, Deanna.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you doing today?
Fine, thank you.
Where are you?
In Fresno, California.
Lovely Fresno. Now, do you listen on Kino or XM?
Kino.
Okay, that's an amazing station now with 50,000 watts of power. So thank you for listening. I have Dr. Debbie.
Right here and waiting for your call. How can I help?
Well, okay. We had a cat come to us. She selected us. And we've had her about 6 years. And about a month ago was the first time it happened. All of a sudden, it was like she had no energy. She would need to lay down and rest all the time. Well, it passed. Then she had a very slight episode, and that one passed. And now, this weekend, she had another one, and she's better today.
Okay, and when you say she's having an episode, just an episode of weakness, or is she doing something particular that's going on?
Okay, it's like she wants to lay down all day long. She doesn't do any of her normal things. I mean, I know a cat sleeps all the time, but this is really unusual. Mm-hmm. And the other thing that happens, which I find really, really strange, is I've always given her Purina Fancy Feast,
Okay.
And she's always loved chicken. Now, the first time I didn't pay any attention, and she had more of that can than that first time. The second time, I realized that when I just gave her maybe like a spoonful, and it seemed like it happened right away, that it was the same type of thing. Now, I gave her another kind of chicken. This time it was with the meat and gravy, and this happened again.
Okay.
So that's weird.
Yeah, I'd say the timing is definitely a little weird, and I guess I'm just not quite picking up visually what's going on when she's doing this. So she's actually walking around normally, and then at some point during that day, she goes weak?
And then it lasts a couple of days. She just lays down all the time, just flat out. She'll get up, walk 3 or 4 steps, and then she lays down again.
Okay.
And we have no idea how old she is.
Okay.
When we took her to the vet after she came to us, the doctor said between 12 and 15. So she could be about 20.
Okay.
And I have wondered if
she could be about 20 years old, and we're talking about a cat. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Wow.
So she's definitely a grandma cat then.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And I'm thinking it's old age, but my husband has listened to you, and he thought I should talk to you about it. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I'll be honest. You have a sick cat. That's what you have. We don't always see just an age-related slowing down. A lot of people like to believe that our pets are just getting old, and that is the root cause of a lot of these problems when they're slowing down, but really there's something medically going on. So maybe there's arthritis, maybe there's some metabolic problems with her kidney, her liver, maybe she's anemic. There's something wrong. So we got to look into this. And even if she's an old gal, I would encourage you not to dismiss it and just kind of say that she's old. So basically, when I am faced with an old kitty that's having some of these things, I mentioned a couple things. Anemia. So I would definitely want to get a blood sample and look at some basic core blood values. Check her white count, her red count, kidney values, liver values, and electrolytes. There are commonly some problems we can pick up with some of these different health conditions which relate to electrolytes, and that can cause weakness. It can cause pets to kind of have a shuffling gait. It can cause problems where their head hangs low, a lot of those type of things. Some pets will have vomiting, GI-related signs, so we can pick up a tremendous amount off of some basic lab work, and that would be pretty much where I would start off with, plus a good physical, because, we can get arthritis, we can get some spine problems, things like that, which might be simple medications to try, but I would say definitely the best thing I can advise is, getting this baby into the veterinarian and getting the old needle out and getting some blood drawn. I'm a vampire. I like to pull blood. But it's so rewarding, and it gives us a lot of information. It's just because our patients don't talk to us.
Yeah, right. Well, when you said about her head dropped, see, she did that this time. Her head was really dropped when she was walking. She hasn't done that before.
Ah, okay. Yeah, and that definitely can be a sign of some issues with potassium levels in the blood, as well as some problems with deficiencies in B vitamins. So, yeah, that would be definitely something important to, share with your veterinarian so that we can look into that.
In a few years, we're looking at the technology where you'll just take your pet and hold it up to the speaker, and we'll be able to figure out what's going on.
That would be,
wouldn't that be cool?
Would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah. For now, I want to send you some World's Best Cat Litter, which is some great cat litter. We've been using it here for a decade. It's whole kernel corn. It's clumping cat litter, and I'd like to send you a bag if you hold on for 1 second, and I'll get your information. For those of you that don't get through today and pick up a bag of World's Best Cat Litter, you can get a $3 off coupon at the website at animalradio.com.
Hi, this is Clive Pierce from HGTV. You're listening to Animal Radio. Please remember to spay and neuter your pets.
This is an Animal Radio News Update, brought to you by World's Best Cat Litter, the only litter made from whole kernel corn.
I'm Bobby Hill for Animal Radio. So you think you're being an environmentally correct pet owner by scooping your dog's poop into a plastic bag? Wrong. According to the inventor of the process of turning poop into usable soil, who says, quote, putting pet waste into plastic bags is not good for the environment, end quote. Dr. Lawrence Green says it usually ends up in landfills, increasing methane gas. But Dr. Green's process of fermenting the dog poop removes all the nasty microorganism and converts it to a product that can be used to restore nutrients in soil. It's called Bokashi Pet Cycle. It also prevents groundwater pollution and helps eliminate greenhouse gases. It's currently available in retail stores in Canada and online. The Associated Press has released yet another pet poll. This one says more people plan to adopt their next cat or dog from an animal shelter. The APPetside.com poll surveyed, it showed that 54% people said they would get their next pet from a local shelter. More than 4 out of 10 people surveyed thought pets from stores probably had hidden problems, health and psychological, and only 8% of the respondents said they would actually get a pet from a pet store. And just in time for summer vacation, Frontier Airlines is allowing passengers to bring small pets on board, but there is a catch. The price for your cat, dog, rabbit, or bird to fly is $75 each way, which is more than some of the current fares for Frontier's two-legged passengers. The airline requires that the pet carrier be small enough to fit under the passenger seat, and pet must have current health documentation. I'm Bobby Hill for Animal Radio. Get more breaking animal news at animalradio.com.
This has been an Animal Radio News Update brought to you by World's Best Cat Litter with a tip for traveling with your cat. Be sure your cat's identification is firmly attached. Make sure vaccinations are up to date and medications are packed. Don't forget to bring your cat's medical records, particularly if you're crossing state lines. Get more tips from Dr. McPete at www.worldsbestcatlitter.com/radio.
Animal Radio is brought to you by Natural Balance Pet Food, the finest food you can buy for the health of your pet. No matter which line of Natural Balance Pet Food you choose, you know it will truly be the food for a lifetime. Visit www.naturalbalance.net to learn more.
You're listening to Animal Radio.
We're moments away from the big Randy Roo story. Yeah, I don't much get it either. I know it's on the way here in the news. It's about some overzealous kangaroo.
Yeah.
And
an overzealous kangaroo?
That's what I'm to
sounds
understand.
Dangerous.
All I know is that Bobby came to me and said, "Can I say dry hump on the air?"
But then what's funnier than a horny kangaroo? I ask you.
There really isn't anything funnier than a horny kangaroo.
I don't know. I thought that Randy Raccoon was pretty funny. That was actually his owner said he was getting a little sore, and they didn't know what to do about it.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, with the little stuffed animal, Dr. Jill answered that.
Oh, that's just wrong.
Yeah. He was actually getting
but kind of funny
sores on his body parts because he was a little bit too randy.
You're going to be talking about a Randy Roo in the news. Is that correct? That's what I see as the news team.
There is.
Randy Roo.
Depending upon how you look at it, we happen to think it's hysterically funny. I'm sure the woman that was dry humped by it doesn't share our humor. But yes, there's actually a very Randy Roo hanging around in the northern Australian territory. We're going to give you the details coming up.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this story.
Yeah, it's just, that's all really that you need in the tease there is...
This is a family show, isn't it?
Yes, it's supposed to be.
The Addams Family. Dr. Debbie is answering your vet medical questions. Of course, our dog father, Joey Villani, is here, as well as animal communicator Joy Turner and Vlade, the world-famous Russian dog wizard. And, Joy, you ready to go to the phones? We're going to do that in just a couple of minutes here.
You bet.
We have... Judy's screening calls here. This portion of Animal Radio, by the way, is brought to you by The Gift for Life. If your animals are showing signs of slowing down with their age, check out The Gift for Life. They'll be acting young again. Order today and change your pet's life tomorrow at thegiftforlife.com. And don't forget, you can head on over to animalradio.com, hit the Gift for Life banner, and get it almost 50% off and no shipping. Or you can pick it up at Whole Foods. Whole Foods.
That's awesome.
The Gift for Life. Yes, the story coming up in just a few minutes about how your pet's hair can help clean up the oil spill in the Gulf. Well, hell, they've tried everything else. Why not this? I hear it's very cost-effective and that it works well.
I think it's a great idea.
Well, listen, anything that can clean it up at this point, come on, let's help the environment here. We have a big problem, don't we?
Yeah. Are you saving your hair that you're using at your shop?
Yeah, Yes, actually, my friends, all the friends that I know across the country. Matter of fact, I was talking to someone in New Jersey this morning, and they had bags and bags of pet hair that they were sending out. So
yeah,
that's awesome.
I understand Petco's sending a ton of that hair every day, and I don't know exactly the chemistry that works. You probably do more than I do, Joey, about how it cleans up the oil. Does oil connect to it or what?
Stick to it?
Honestly, I don't know the first thing about that. I have to be honest with you. I mean, I don't know how it works. All I know is they want dog hair, and I mean, hey, maybe they found something here. You know, we use them as cleaning towels and dish rags, and who knows.
I just wonder if my fish sticks will have hair in them. That's all I'm concerned about. Animal communicator Joy Turner is with us. Hey, Joy. I'm ready to talk to some animals. Actually, I'll let you do the talking. I'll just do the listening. How's that sound?
That's a good idea.
That's perfect.
And we have Kathy. Hey, Kathy. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. How about you?
Very good. Where are you today?
We're in Missouri. We're going on our way to St. Louis.
Are you in OTR?
Pardon?
You're OTR?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we are.
I have Joy, the animal communicator extraordinaire, here. She's been saying some stuff that have been really freaking me out recently, things that have hit really close to home. And so listen closely as she helps you.
Okay. Thank you. Hello there. Hi. My question is, we have 2 Chihuahuas that we take in the semi with us. The one's 10 and the one's a year and a half. The 10-year-old, she's got some medical problems. Her valve in her heart starting to leak a little bit. And I was just concerned about how she feels being in the semi all the time.
She says she has no idea where else she'd be, so she feels perfectly fine.
Oh,
she doesn't want to be somewhere else.
Okay. What about the year and a half one? Is she fine with it?
Tell me that one's name.
Cindy.
She says, is she fine with the older one being there, or is she fine with her being there?
With her being there.
She says she needs to get used to things more, but she thinks that she'll be okay.
She'll be okay. Now, I got one more question to ask you. Are either one of the dogs, are they reincarnated from the pets that we had, like when we were younger?
They can be. Do you have somebody in particular in mind? And I can check to see if the soul is the same soul as one of the ones you have now.
Yeah, his name was Heinz.
Heinz tells me to tell you that he isn't actually in one of those bodies yet, but he's due next in. So the next time you see a dog...
do you know which one?
He says he'll be the next one that you get.
Oh, he'll be the next one that we get?
Mm-hmm. There is somebody else, though, in one of those bodies. Who else did you have?
I had a little dog named Kelly, and then I had one named Jack.
Kelly is a girl?
Yes.
Yeah, she's the one that's back with you now.
Oh, she is back with me?
Yeah.
I can already guess which one she is.
She says, yes, it is that one. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I knew who it was. Okay, I thank you very much.
Thanks for your call, Kathy. 1-866-405-8405. And don't forget, you can connect with Joy Turner on the web at joyturner.com. She sets up 45-minute sessions to meet with you during the week if you'd like to talk with your animal. And then, of course, they're free right now at 1-866-405-8405.
You know I like to cruise the news because I find you boring, Hal. The Associated Press. You know, you're warned when you go to national parks, do not approach the animals. These are not trained.
They're wild.
They're wild. Thank you. Man got bitten. Try and take a picture
of
a
what?
Black bear.
A black bear?
The bear bit him?
Black bear.
Where did he bite him?
Yeah, on the foot.
Ugh.
Lucky it was minor injuries, and he actually did not even require medical attention. But doofus happened in the Great Smoky Mountain National Park on the Laurel Falls Trail.
Now, if you run into a bear, what are you supposed to do? You're not supposed to punch it. That's a shark, right?
Yeah.
They're supposed to punch a shark.
And you, good luck when you punch catching that shark, Hal. I'll see you later.
Are you supposed to act dead?
I'll be the one swimming away.
Yeah, you're supposed to play dead.
Play dead,
I think, or run like hell if you can.
No, and it's okay. Correct me if I'm wrong, and we're going to have to talk to Bear Grylls, the real, wilderness guy.
Yeah,
I think it depends on the bear.
Yeah, it does.
Really?
Because like black bears will climb a tree up after you. They can climb trees. Grizzlies can't. But sometimes they don't have to. They just take you with one swipe.
So you should ask, are you the kind of bear that prefers me to play dead?
Yeah, listen.
Let's just get this out in the open.
Exactly. You need to have that conversation pretty early in. Oh, sorry. Are we making fun of bad stuff again? Too bad. That's what we do.
We're cutting off her internet connection, by the way, next week. We've been instructed. No.
It's not like I surf porn.
No,
like other people I won't name.
You do spend a lot of time on Twitter, though.
Twitter loves us. How Twitter loves us.
Twitter loves us? I love Twitter, too, just because they love us.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more about today's guest at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
Animal Radio is brought to you by
One Shot Plus Multi-Purpose Cleaner attacks everyday stains, pet stains, crayon marks, mildew. One shot and it's gone. Call 1-800-874-7070 or go to oneshotplus.com to get yours now.
Hi, it's Lisa Laporta from HGTV's Design to Sell for Animal Radio. Please spay and neuter your pet.
Hi, I'm Dick Van Patten, and if you're like me, you love animals. That's why over 18 years ago, I started my Dick Van Patten's Natural Balance Pet Foods. I wanted to provide the best possible nutrition for dogs and cats based on scientific data, not just marketing hype. Today, my Natural Balance products are respected and fed by top trainers, breeders, and veterinarians from all over the world. So try my Natural Balance for your pets. You won't be disappointed.
Remember how energetic your dog was as a puppy? If you could give your senior pet his youth and vitality back and relieve his aches and pains, would you? The Gift for Life works to signal your pet's life-giving hormones back to a more youthful balance. The Gift for Life can help repair damaged cells, leading to amazing anti-aging effects and a longer, healthier life. Give the gift of youth back to your furry companion with The Gift for Life. Learn more about the science behind The Gift for Life at thegiftforlife.com.
We get lots of food samples here at Animal Radio, so we can be picky about selecting a healthy food. If you're a regular listener, you know Ladybug is one finicky diva. When we got a sample of Stella and Chewy's, the healthy ingredients were there, but would she eat it? I'm here to tell you she ate it as fast as we put it down and begged for more. We feel good about feeding our dog Stella and Chewy's, and we want you to try Stella and Chewy's too. Visit StellaandChewy's.com or call 888-477-8977. That's 888-477-8977.
As your best friend settles into middle age and shows signs of slowing down, SeniorPetProducts.com is there to help your senior pets live to the fullest by providing the latest news, information, and products for health, wellness, comfort, and mobility. At SeniorPetProducts.com, you'll find everything your aging pets need, from vitamins and supplements to diapers, boots, and accessories that'll make their senior years more comfortable, all at the lowest prices available. Thousands of products for the life of your pet. SeniorPetProducts.com.
Hey, this is Brian DeTillo. I play Lucas Roberts on Days of Our Lives. You're listening to Animal Radio, and please don't forget to have your pets spayed or neutered.
Celebrating our connection with our pets. This is Animal Radio. Here are your hosts, Hal Abrams and Judy Francis.
And the whole dream team is here. Dog father Joey Villani with your grooming questions. Villani, the world famous Russian dog wizard. Of course, animal communicator Joy Turner. And Dr. Debbie answering your vet medical questions toll free at 1-866-405-8405. And if you think your dog humping the mailman is bad, wait till you hear about this news story coming up with Bobby Hill of a Randy Roo. It's a kangaroo that apparently had a humping problem.
Well, that could be dangerous.
That could hurt.
Big. Yeah.
Which one are we going to, Judy? To 4?
Line 4.
Oh, is that Ramon?
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing today?
I'm driving. I'm okay.
Well, I got Dr. Debbie right here. She can help you. I know you have a problem.
It's not a problem. It's I'm just thinking maybe like cows should be fed oatmeal. Maybe cat and dog should be sprinkled some oatmeal or garlic on their meal. Is that okay?
And you're asking if you can feed oatmeal or garlic to a dog or a cat?
Either.
Either. Okay. Well, this is a quick answer, and it's an easy answer. Garlic, I would definitely stay away from. It's actually on the list of toxic foods, and garlic is related to onions. And in that whole family of leeks, garlic, onions, chives, you name it, that can actually cause a problem with the animal's red blood cells, which can lead to anemia and blood transfusions and horrible disease. So we definitely stay away from using garlic, onions. Garlic powder even can, in high enough amounts, still cause the same effect. So I'm going to say nixay on the garlic-ay. And then as far as for oatmeal, I can't see a reason you need to feed it for your pets if you're feeding a good quality dog or cat food. But in the realm of dangerous things, probably not on that list. It's probably pretty benign. But my best encouragement would be to stick to a good dog, cat food. And if you have to dress it up, stay away from some of the things like the garlics and some of the other foods that, a lot of people think feeding tuna even can be good. But if it's done every day for cats, it can actually lead to vitamin deficiencies. So once again, I'll always put the advertisement in. Talk to your vet about your diet that you're using. Make sure it's a good quality diet and take care of those babies there, Ramon.
Thanks for your call, Ramon. 1-866-405-8405. Toll free to connect with any one of the Dream Team here. I see garlic is actually an ingredient in some of these dog foods. Is it such a benign amount?
Well, we would hope not, or we would hope it is a benign amount, but it's just not a good practice. And this is why, it isn't so simple to throw ingredients together and make a cooked meal or appropriate diet for your pet. So there really is some science, and there's some important things to use and to avoid for pets. And it's, best left to the professionals. So I'm not a fan of the home cooking thing.
1-866-405-8405 to connect with any one of the Dream Team here. How can your extra pet hair help the crisis in the Gulf with the oil spill? They can. Apparently it soaks up oil, and we're collecting, well, not us, Petco is collecting hair from your pets and is going to deliver a ton this week. Coming up in the news with Bobby Hill. Did you see the cremation story?
I saw it and I didn't want to use it because it made me sad.
You wonder when you take your pet to a crematorium if you're really getting your pet back.
Yeah, what was this? I didn't hear about this.
Same thing with people.
Yeah.
Sorry, but it's true. There was a big scandal in Southern California not too long ago of a crematorium that basically was giving people, cigarette ashes and telling them it's your Aunt Millie.
Coming up in the news with Bobby Hill in just a few minutes right here on Animal Radio.
This is Jane Lynch on Animal Radio. Please spay and neuter your animal. Spay or neuter. Let me say that again. You don't want to do both. Spay or neuter. Let me say it again. Can I do that?
You can do whatever you want.
Oh, God bless. I'm going to try it one more time. Hi, this is Jane Lynch on Animal Radio. Please spay or neuter your animal. I love it.
This is
Animal Radio.
That's Larry Blackman of Cameo, whose dog is actually humping him at the time. It's like, ow, get away. Ow.
No.
Turns out this humping thing, not so sexual. It's more alpha dog thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's more like, alpha dog, more who is the boss, that type of the things. And, it's very natural to the dogs and easy to fix.
So if you have a humping dog, we want you to stick around in just a few minutes. Vladi's going to tell you how to cure your dog from that humping. Now, our dog, Ladybug, she humps a flea. So I assume...
animal.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's a stuffed flea is what it is. One of her favorite toys.
I always laughing, when I see your dog,
why?
Humping. Yeah, because I was thinking, why couldn't get the real dog, guys?
It is cute.
She's adorable. All 6 pounds of her.
So we're all here to answer your questions. Vladi will help you with that in just a few minutes there. Also, Dr. Debbie with your vet medical questions. Animal communicator Joy Turner and dog father Joey Villani. We're all here at your beck and call. Toll free at 1-866-405-8405. I believe we have, is it Rena? Hi, Rena. How are you doing?
Hi, how you doing?
Good. Where are you?
I'm in Florida.
Where it's sunny and beautiful most all times. Of course, this last season it's been kind of cold, huh?
Yeah, it's raining. Been raining most of the day here.
Okay. Well, how can we help you? Dr. Debbie's right here.
Okay, Dr. Debbie. I enjoy your laugh, by the way, very much. I enjoy hearing you laugh.
Thank you.
Listen, I have 3 cats, but one in particular, her name is Biscuit, and she's about 8 or 9 years old.
Okay.
And she bites her left side quite a bit. And then she can be laying down and she'll abruptly sit up and she just sits there. And then she stares a lot.
Okay.
And I was just wondering what's your opinion on what that could be?
And is it only the left side that she's kind
Just
of
the left
bothering?
side, yes.
Okay.
By
Is there
her
actual...
hip. By her hip
Okay.
and her leg. And I've looked, at her skin. I've taken her to the vet. And he said he would have to, do x-rays or scrape some skin off. And that was quite expensive, and I didn't have that done. And I was wondering if you knew what that could be.
Well,
But
yeah.
I was wondering if she could be in pain, when she's laying down and she'll just get up and sit up abruptly.
Yeah, and definitely that would be partly my instinct from what you're describing, is that when a kitty just kind of suddenly jumps up, looks like, holy bejesus, somebody bit my tail, and reacts, whether or not they move or do anything afterwards, that's kind of a wake up where I'd say, she's maybe not trying to tell us, but she's feeling something. And I've seen a lot of kitties with some similar syndromes where it's not always an easy thing where we can peg a diagnosis just off of what we have so far, but it does give us an index of suspicion that there is something, and that this doesn't sound like it's necessarily a behavioral problem. So I would go looking for things that can cause pain, things that can cause any kind of distress, even when we throw in that kind of grooming behavior. If she's excessively grooming in a certain area, we would think of skin disease. We can actually think of allergies as well. So allergies, food allergies, or food intolerances can cause pets to do some kind of strange behaviors where they're kind of woken up almost, if you will, at times. But
talk about that, Dr. Debbie. The food, they've been on science diet for quite a few years, and I forgot what you said. Like it takes a month. Excuse me. It takes a month. Change their food slowly, and then didn't you say something about it takes a month to get to change them to something else?
Exactly, yeah. So when we do a transition on food, we do it over about a week to 10 days. But once you get to a new food, a hypoallergenic diet or some other variety, some route you're going, it can take a month to 2 to really see if it makes a difference. Now, I would certainly say, there might be some other medical things I would look at. And, if your veterinarian has talked about doing something like an x-ray, I'm going to back him up on that, because I really think getting an x-ray can tell us quite a bit. And some particular syndromes that I might look for that might be related to this could be something as simple as arthritis. Kitties get arthritis, and 8 isn't all that old, but I have seen cats that have lower back pain, arthritis, or even some hip arthritis. So that would help us to identify if that was a problem. We can get on the right medication, the right bearing, if you will, if that was an issue. The other thing is I have seen cats that have kidney stones or even bladder stones, and that can cause kind of a acute pain where they react to that kind of out of nowhere. Doesn't always have to be a problem with the litter pan that you see as their first sign of that something is wrong. So the x-ray would also help us in that direction. So if you had to pick something, I'd probably start there. But yeah, I think we're going to need to do a little bit of some investigation to find out a bit more. I definitely respect that. She's telling us something. It's just she doesn't have that human voice to back her up there.
Right. Speaking of human voices, Debbie, in the last 3 days, there is a cat that cries outside. There's a lot of outdoor cats here, unfortunately, and mine are strictly indoors. And it sits and just cries. It comes 2 or 3 times a day. And I'm wondering if it's mating season. Is this mating season?
Well, I mean, certainly, depending if that kitty's not spayed or neutered, then yeah, he could be looking for a friend. He certainly may be aware by sense, sight, or sound that you have kitties in the home, and maybe trying to do a little kitty communication and thinking we can get access into this home. So yeah, and Yeah, so it's tough when you've got a lot of feral cats around and you don't necessarily want them to mix. So as best as you can to keep the physical barriers between the feral cats so they don't have access to create any disturbances inside the home, because we can get indoor cats getting all shaped out of whack when it comes to litter box habits if a feral cat's kind of come to that front door. So I'd be careful with that because we don't want to set off a litter pan riot in the household.
Thank you so much for your call today. We appreciate it. 1-866-405-8405 to talk to any one of the Dream Team.
Always adopt, don't declaw.
This is Animal Radio
Network.
Celebrating our connection with our pets. This is Animal Radio.
Okay. Someone might give me a heads up next time.
It's funny, Hal. It's really funny.
It's funnier this way.
I know. He doesn't get it.
You don't even leave your news booth there. You're like always in your news booth. Do you even leave after the show? Do you live in your news booth?
I could, but I think it's against some health county regulation. I'm not sure.
Okay, I went to go to the bathroom and didn't make it back in time, and everyone's all giddy because of it. That would include Joey Villani laughing there in the corner.
I know, look at him. Never seen him laugh so hard.
His tattoo, have you noticed it's looking 3D recently?
Oh, boy. I think that's just your eyes, Hal.
Seriously, I think he's doing, there's a new 3D craze with the TVs and all of that. I think he's
Are we going to go 3D?
Animal Radio in 3D. There's an idea. Let's hit up the boss after the show. Tell him we'd like to go 3D.
We could just say it's 3D, Judy. They wouldn't know.
How about just Animal Radio in high def?
Ooh.
Everywhere.
Yeah, we're in high def.
We're in high def.
Animal communicator Joy Turner is with us. I'm sorry, I'm not on the bandwagon, ladies. Vlade, the world-famous Russian dog wizard. We're all here at your beck and calls at 1-866-405-8405. Also, still taking your nominations, where to put our big commercial-grade poop bag dispenser. And we're going to name this poop bag dispenser after whoever wins this alleged contest.
Or name it after their dog. Their
dog.
Yeah, I don't think
Should we have them write essays?
No, we'll keep it simple.
Okay.
Just call in.
If you know of a place that you've stepped in poop, perhaps, or there's a dog park where no one cleans up because there's no doggy bags, we'd like to put this poop bag dispenser there, courtesy of you. Oh, how to nominate yourself? Just call us. 1-866-405-8405. There's really no rules to this contest. See, most stations would say, a copy of the rules are at our studios.
We don't have those. It's just funny. Oh,
did you see the cremation story?
I saw it and I didn't want to use it because it made me sad.
It was sad. And you wonder when you take your pet to a crematorium if you're really getting your pet back.
I mean, how can you really prove it? How can you
That's true. You can't do a DNA analysis of ashes. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You
People
can't?
over on all those NCIS and CSI shows. So yeah, you would somehow though they were busted on it. And I think when they when the authorities entered the alleged scene of the crime, which would be the funeral home, they found several animals that had not been cremated and the owners had already been told, they'd been cremated and here's the ashes.
Ooh.
So that was the proof in those cases.
Yeah, but if you do a DNA and it comes up as a dog, you can't prove that that's still your dog. That's a tough call.
Of course, there's no regulatory oversight of pet crematoriums.
No? Oh, really? No. Now, that's not a good idea.
That story is all coming up in news, getting ready for this afternoon. We're going to have a little picnic later. This is going to be our Animal Radio Memorial Day picnic. And Joey, I hope you're going to bring something to it, hopefully something Italian.
Listen, I'm a good cook here, guys. So not only am I going to bring something, I am going to bring the best thing to the party. And I don't even know what it is yet, but I guarantee it.
See, I have a feeling he's right.
I know, we're not even going to question it.
See, I'm just dropping by Vaughn's and picking up some...
Who ate the donuts today? I'm a little bit hungry, actually, today.
You know what?
There's nothing here.
It's not that anyone ate the donuts. I didn't get them this weekend.
You were running late.
I was running late this weekend, and I'm sorry about that. And I noticed that we're all a little bit less perky than we usually be without sugar.
We need that energy rush.
Yes. Okay. So have yourself a very safe Memorial Day weekend with your pet this weekend, and make sure that they're not running out traffic. And what was the other holiday Dr. Debbie said she sees a lot after? Christmas. She sees a lot after Christmas and after Halloween. She sees a lot of animals.
Because they get into all that food. People leave food and drinks sitting around. And it can happen Memorial Weekend, too. People leave drinks sitting on the table and a bunch of hot dogs. And, the animals are going to take advantage.
Yep.
Overdose on hot dogs.
Yeah. I'm just gonna take a Pepsid right now. Okay, we're going to the phones next. Dr. Debbie answering your vet medical questions. Dog father Joey Villani's here. Animal communicator Joey Turner and Vlade, the world famous Russian dog wizard. We're all here on Animal Radio for you right now. 1-866-405-8405.
This is
Animal Radio. Hey, this is Cesar Milan. When I'm not doing the dog whisper, I'm listening to Animal Radio. Stay balanced.
Celebrating our connection with our pets. This is Animal Radio.
And welcome. My friend, you can call us toll free at 1-866-405-8405. This is your first weekend listening? Well, welcome. Dr. Debbie's our veterinarian here. She answers your vet medical questions. Dog father Joey Villani, he's our groomer. He grooms our animals, too, and he can help you with those vexing grooming questions. He has very economical tips. I've been saving a lot of money with his tips, by the way. Animal communicator Joey Turner is also here with us, bridging that gap between... it could be your childhood pet. Yeah, the one that's no longer alive. She has the ability to do that.
Amazing.
It's if you're into that spiritual thing, it makes the phones ring crazy like here. And let me tell you, she said some stuff that's freaked me out.
Are you now a believer, Hal?
I don't know if I'm a believer.
You were such a total skeptic.
I was a big skeptic. I just don't know how she knows this stuff.
He's on the fence right now.
On the fence. Travel expert Susan Sims. She's the publisher of Fido Friendly magazine. She joins us each week. She usually has giveaways. She's the only one that comes to the party with giveaways. And Vlade, the world famous Russian dog wizard. Screening your calls, Judy Francis. I'm Hal Abrams. Boog, the studio cat, and Ladybug, the studio stunt dog.
Sound asleep.
Another Associated Press pet side poll. I love these. Says that you're more likely to adopt a pet from a shelter than buy them from a store.
Peoples are saying that. Yes,
54%
of them actually.
That's a good thing.
A lot. That's a lot.
People are listening.
We do know that the animals that are at pet stores could be health-ridden with problems.
So many times they are exactly that, or there's been some psychological problems too. And how many people do you know that have gone to a pet store, got a pet, and had a horrible reaction to it within 2 weeks of getting it home?
Yeah.
Oh, probably at least 75% or more.
Yeah.
Or they get them home and they say, I can't train them to go potty because they've learned to go potty inside these puppy mills. Mm-hmm. So they've learned the wrong way. And it's always much better to give a pet a chance that's out of the shelter.
Adopting is better.
People think that these animals at the shelters are there because they've done something wrong or they're bad dogs. That's not true. It's just bad circumstances, owners having to relinquish. Now it's more and more because of home foreclosures. These are good animals just in need of a good home.
You know what we hear every week is we hear somebody say, well, yeah, I'd like to adopt an animal from a shelter, but I want a specific breed like a Rhodesian Ridgeback.
Well, that's understandable.
There's shelters and there's adoption agencies that prescribe directly to these breeds.
Yes, breed rescues. You can go online and find a breed rescue for any particular breed. I think that's very important that people know what they want. That means they've done their research, they know the animal, they believe it will fit in their lifestyle. They don't get an animal just based upon its looks.
Okay. Well,
really, because if you see a cute puppy, you will just take it. You won't think the future of this huge animal.
I'm thinking about it right now. I'm thinking most of my animals were just impulse reactions. Except Ladybug. You thought her out, didn't you?
I thought her out. I researched her. I found her online. I knew what kind of a dog I wanted.
You wanted, but you got the opposite of what you wanted.
I knew what I wanted, and I knew what I didn't want. And I end up getting
what you didn't want.
What I didn't want.
But it turns out good.
Yes, because she was not the breed I was told she was.
It's also confusing.
I know.
You'd have to be a long-time Animal Radio listener to really even understand
But she's a good dog, and she's a rescue.
Also in the news today, Randy Roo is what it says here. That was I used to dance under that name, Randy Roo.
Oh.
Yes, I did. It was. But you're talking about the kangaroo.
Is that when you were a 70s porn star, Hal?
Yes, that's it. Boy, you remember that. You really have to dig it up. It was in the 70s. Wasn't that the only time porn was really in? was the 70s. I had the mustache.
I don't know where you've been, Hal. I don't think it's ever gone out.
Only been me, huh? Okay. Yeah. Well, you'll be actually using the words dry hump in a Randy Roo story coming up. It is a family show. Maybe the Addams Family, but it is a family show nonetheless. All here at Animal Radio. 1-866-405-8405 to connect with any one of the Dream Team right now. Hey, Tom, how are you doing?
Fantastic. How are you?
Good. Where are you today?
Today I'm in Central Ohio. I drive a truck cross country, and I'm just outside of Toledo.
Do you take your animal with you?
I would like to, but I've never heard of this. The dog gets car sick. I can't believe it.
Oh, it's actually fairly common. Yeah, what kind of dog you got?
I have a 15-month-old Beagle, half Basset, half Beagle, and we picked him up. We picked him up a couple of months ago at the Humane Society, and the poor guy didn't even make it. Like 5 miles down the road, he started throwing up. We took him to the vet, and the vet said it was because he had worms, and we got him wormed, and he had a bit of an ear infection. Took care of that, but the dog continues to get car sick. He can't make it more than about 10 miles. What would cause that?
Well, I mean, dogs can definitely have true motion sickness, just like us. If you get on the tilt-a-whirl and your equilibrium doesn't like it, you can get sick to your stomach. And dogs definitely can have that same effect. However, more times than not, they actually can have anxiety with car travel, and it can still lead to the same effects of vomiting, nausea, trembling, shaking, all of that. So it can be a little challenging to know which situation you're in. Some of the basic things that I look at when I get a dog that has this problem is once they get into the car and they sit down, what do they do? Are they shaking? Are they trembling? Are they freaking out just being physically in the car? If so, you may have more of an anxiety-driven problem than truly a motion sickness problem. So look at that, and I would kind of say from there we can gauge in some different things we can try. For true motion sickness, there are remedies. We can use things like Dramamine. There's a drug called Serenia that's used for motion sickness for pets that travel, and they can be helpful. But some common sense things that we would always start with first: don't feed before you travel. So you would say a couple hours before traveling, no food and preferably no water right before you get in the vehicle. And also dogs do best if they are confined and their world is a bit restricted in what they can do and see. So we don't want a dog jumping and running around the car. One, that's dangerous for you as a driver, and two, they have more anxiety because there's a lot more flying by down the roadside. And that, for a pet who has anxiety, that can make things much worse. So we'd prefer to be restrained either with a seat belt or in a pet carrier. And those are the best ways. And face forward, just like us. You know, you don't want to go riding backwards on the train because if you tend to get sick to the stomach, that's going to make it worse. But if we're getting down to where we're talking anxiety as a trigger for this type of problem, it really gets down to where you can try to train and make it a positive experience for car travel. So the ways to work on that are to start with the small steps. Get your pet used to getting into the vehicle and make sure that we're calm, comfortable, and not stressed out by that. If just getting into the car starts trembling, shaking, and drooling, we have to start a step back where it's less scary. Along the way, we make it fun, we give treats, we do fun things, and we make sure that we build up to little steps of getting into the vehicle, turning the key on, and maybe even backing out of the driveway. All of that in a positive experience. If we see any vomiting, drooling, or freaking out, you stop and you take a step back and you start with a less intense exposure. Then, with time, we're going to work up to maybe going around the block, and then coming home, making sure it was a good experience, calling it a day, and say, okay, we're not going to try that 10-mile ride today. We're going to do the little short, brief trips. Build up the confidence, and that will help to decrease the anxiety with getting into the car in the first place. And then hopefully that will do you some good in the long run to make this pet maybe a better traveler. If not, some dogs just don't get into the car well and don't do well with travel. So kind of bummer for you if you're on the road and you want to have your dog with you, though, huh? Hope that's of some help for you, and try those techniques, and hopefully we'll have a pet that can enjoy traveling in the future. This is Dr. Debbie with Animal Radio.
I remember this one. Bobby, is this, it's ELO? Is it ELO, or is it,
Electric Light.
Is it ELO? I guessed. I was just guessing right there.
Good.
It was one of my favorite songs, actually. This portion of Animal Radio brought to you by Blue Buffalo, makers of healthy and holistic natural food for dogs and cats. You love them like family, so feed them like family with Blue. Check out the protein-rich Blue Wilderness, now grain-free. 100% grain-free. Blue Wilderness, high protein, low carbs. It's Blue Buffalo. Thanks, guys, for sponsoring Animal Radio.
When it comes to controlling cat box odor, there's no such thing as good enough. Buy the best or smell the rest. In other words, get World's Best Cat Litter with patented formulas made from whole kernel corn. World's Best Cat Litter is 100% natural and scientifically proven to deliver unsurpassed odor control, compact clumping, and longer-lasting use. See what a difference just one bag makes. And for a limited time, save big when you buy. To download a coupon, go to worldsbestcatlitter.com/radio.
When I went looking for a quality allergen-free dog food for Roscoe, a friend told me about Canine Caviar. Being a born skeptic, I examined every ingredient and, most importantly, made sure it drove our dog's taste buds crazy. Here's the lowdown. Canine Caviar is holistic, allergen-free, with raw dehydrated meats, herbs, fish oil, and flaxseed for health and joint support. Good food for Roscoe from a company I can trust. Ask your pet store for Canine Caviar. Learn more at caninecaviar.com.
Hello, this is Lauriston Crockett, creator and founder of The Gift for Life. The Gift for Life is the most powerful and effective anti-aging product for dogs in the world. This is a fast-acting product that is far beyond anything else you've ever seen. No more empty promises. I will give you a 100% money-back guarantee if The Gift for Life doesn't help, support, and rejuvenate your pet's health. Order today and change your pet's life tomorrow. www.thegiftforlife.com or call 877-373-6851.
Fido Friendly is the travel and lifestyle magazine for you and your dog. Each bi-monthly issue includes hotel and destination reviews, health and wellness topics, dog training advice, and the latest fashion trends. You can find Fido Friendly magazine at Borders, Barnes & Noble, PetSmart, and Petco, or simply go online to FidoFriendly.com and subscribe today. Fido Friendly is the only magazine dedicated to the travel and lifestyle of man's best friend, and the only magazine your dog will thank you for.
This is Animal Radio, baby.
Just a few minutes, we'll head on over to the newsroom with Bobby Hill. She's working on a news story about a Randy Roo.
Randy Roo?
This is a kangaroo that apparently likes to hump people, is it?
Yeah,
I guess so. This is a problem that we commonly have with dogs.
Yes.
I know that Ladybug, who's actually, she's been spayed. There's no reason. She actually likes to hump her flea a lot, but I haven't seen her hump any humans.
Her flea, let me explain, is it's a stuffed animal.
Oh, yeah, you got to say that.
Yeah.
It's not like a...
She doesn't have fleas. No, this is a stuffed animal.
Anyway, she likes to play with it every once in a while. I'm not quite sure why, but... you probably are addressed that problem a lot, Vlade. People come to you and say, how do I get that damn dog to stop humping people?
Exactly. And the people thinking humping among the humans and dogs have the same reason, sexuality. But I would like to assure you people it's not.
Okay.
Even females, those humping males and humping each other's and vice versa too. And it's a very common, especially in the dogs who is coming to age. And tested out its boundary. My phone is always ringing.
Yeah,
by the way,
is that your ringtone? Because we need to get you some new ringtones. Seriously.
Hold on. Hi, this is the Vladi. I am right now on the national radio. I know you have an urgency, but let me talk to my listeners first, and I'm gonna get back to you right away. My assistant will take your call. Thank you very much.
There you go.
I apologize, my animal radio listeners.
I understand.
And,
I think
let's continue. Yes. So it is such a hilarious to see how the people try to alibi the dog's behavior. You see, my phone is always ringing.
It really is.
Always
There's a lot
ringing.
of people that are having humping problems, it appears.
Exactly. I shut it off now. See, we have a real radio here. We don't cover anything. We just speak out of our hearts. That is why our solution works. Back to the humping, people.
Yes.
When the Vladi talks, everyone is listening.
Yes.
Okay. Number one, to understand why they hump. They hump not out of the sexual pleasure. They hump because of the dominance. They try to figure out who is the hot, who is the nut. This is for their very natural behavior. So the dogs hump each other dogs. In other dogs, they hump the owners. They hump the people. It's a very embarrassing behavior. How to fix it?
Yes.
I like to address the cause of the humping, and I would like to shoot the symptoms. How to address the cause? Of course, the dog must be mentally and physically stimulated. Physical stimulations. Get the dog, run back and forth. Run it with your dog. Maybe, brisk walk will help it too. But make sure your dog must walk through the structures. It means at your left-hand side, all the spouse on the right, dog at the left. It's international law. At the right-hand side, we always have cellular phone, pager, and gun, and spouse. At your left-hand side, we always have a dog, one dog or two dogs. And when the dog cannot go ahead of you, cannot sniff around, just walk with you, this is the time when the dog gets tired from that walk. You can take, let's say, a Labrador Retriever for a 5-mile walk, and he will not even warm up. You will be about dying. So walking is very important. And don't try to tell me, the dog should smell everything when I take my dog for a walk. Yes, people. There is the time when you stop and just say, okay, Billy, let's play. Where is my ball? I mean, you can do that. But if you said, let's go, the dog must go unless you're going to walk downtown with the stupid pooper scooper and all those bags, and you're going to pee and poop and mark everything. End the story. The dog must walk at your left-hand side for the structures. Number one. Number two, obedience training. Dogs who are humpers must have some leash training. Simple exercises. Let's go sit, stay down in the presence of the humping subjects needs to be applicable to the dog, once in a while. Because by doing obedience training, you're teaching your dog in the simple terms. You are the boss. And this will address the cause. But the symptoms, we can shoot the symptoms with my favorite object flying through the air, not chair or tables, nothing any heavy. It's just we're using empty can or 5-6 pennies, dropping on the floor makes the noise when the dog humping. Or if it doesn't work, we just touch the dog with air by using the product Pet Convincer. Psst, the dog stops. You say, good girl, you want to do it again? And like I say, and the hell learn from me, you gotta win 5-6 consecutive times on each issue, and you will win the war. Problem is, people give up before the dogs give up. People give up before dogs give up. That's important. Keep doing it. You gotta win at least 5-6 consecutive times. Your dog is not going to do it more than that, and you're gonna win the war. Just please do it. It will make all difference in your world.
Okay, Vladi, the world-famous Russian dog wizard, exclusively on Animal Radio. Well, hello, Jan. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Good. Where are you today?
I'm in Vernon, Texas.
Vernon, Texas. Which side of Texas is that?
Which side of Texas? It's close to Wichita Falls.
Is that where you live?
We're on the border. We live out in the country.
Okay. Well, I have Dr. Debbie here. I hope everything's okay with your pets. What's going on?
Let's see, she's about 3 years old. We've taken her to the vet quite a few times. They had her on antibiotics 2 rounds, and her skin would be inflamed.
Jan, I'm going to back up. This is a dog we're talking about?
Yeah, I didn't catch that. I wasn't sure.
Okay, what kind of dog? How old?
3 years old and Chihuahua.
A Chihuahua. Awesome. Okay, so what do you got going on with your baby there?
She's inflamed, her skin is, and she scratches a lot. And they put her on 2 rounds of antibiotics. She had an odor, and he ended up cleaning her teeth. And then that seemed to help. But then her skin got inflamed again, and she's still scratching. We have a antifungal shampoo that we used for several months. And I don't know that it helped, but he gave her 2 different allergy shots, and that kind of helped on the itching, the scratching and all. But it's kind of like she's done all that, and she's still having problems. So I don't know if we need to get blood work done or what we need to do.
Okay, yeah. Now, and you're describing that at the time that she's itchy, does she also smell at the same time?
Yes, and her hair will get oily if you don't bathe her at least twice a week.
Okay. Yeah, and definitely I'd say here, blood work might be useful to see if we've got any potential hormonal problems like a thyroid problem or other health issues going on. But when I pick up an odor, and a lot of times when a dog has just I don't want to say stank, but yeah, when they have a stank to them, and they're actually having itching, scratching, all of those type of signs, there's a lot we can do by looking into the skin surface. So I'll take a slide, look under the microscope, see what kind of critters we might have growing. Because a lot of times, if we're picking up a smelly odor and we've got some redness on the skin, it's very possible we have some infection, whether it's yeast, bacteria, or what have you. So when you said you're using an antifungal shampoo, that makes me wonder if they were concerned that maybe she did have something like a yeast infection, which can be yeasty and stinky and smelly. And if anyone knows what an infected ear smells like when it has a yeast problem, dogs can get this all over their body anywhere. So it can really produce a pretty potent smell. So that might be something that I'd be looking at doing, is check for yeast on the skin. And if possible, we may need to get her on an oral anti-yeast medicine. But I definitely like the idea of checking blood work. The other thing I would definitely look into doing is getting her on a hypoallergenic diet, because a lot of these skin problems, allergies, infections, they can be rooted where a pet has a problem with a sensitivity to certain proteins or ingredients in the food. And that kind of starts the whole cascade of itch, redness, infection, itch, redness, infection, and it goes on and on. So if we can get to the heart of it with a hypoallergenic diet, you can go a long way there to make her more comfortable. And
we
then
had
as far
her on
as
the wellness dog food, and that was supposed to be an allergy type dog food. Then we switched her, and she's on potato and duck, and she's been on that for like 6 months. And so I don't know where to go after that.
Yeah, I mean, and if you've tried a couple avenues down that road, there are different ways that we can go at food allergy. So you were kind of trying what's called the novel protein approach to food allergies. We can go to a hydrolyzed protein diet, and there are some really good ones out there. Purina makes one, Science Diet makes one, Royal Canin makes one, I believe, where they're actually, the proteins of the food go through a special process so that they kind of trick the pet's immune system so that they can still eat the chicken protein, if you will, and not show an allergic sign to it. So that would be one thing you could do, but it's a hydrolyzed protein that you might want to look into that with your veterinarian. And then really, I'd say the heart of it is to get a sample from the skin. And I know Hal always says I like to look at the gross things, the ooey things, the gross stuff on the microscope, but it really can, to empower your veterinarian to really work with you to try to find the right steps, the right solution, and the right medicines or shampoos, because that makes a big difference. So commonly I hear people getting upset. Oh my God, I spent $200 at the vet and you didn't do anything for me. Well, sometimes if we don't have the right direction and we're not given that lead of which path we're going down, we can spend money pretty easily for you, but it may not be in your pet's best interest or might not be the most effective. So definitely it's well worth looking into those simple skin tests that your vet can do, and I'd encourage you that way.
Okay.
So hopefully we'll get your baby so that we're not getting that smelling and so forth, and feeling good there, because this is a rough time of the year. All these pets are out there scratching and itching. So
yeah, I know it seems like 1 out of every 5 calls right now is about allergies or something this time of year.
It's such a big time, yeah. So you're not alone. We're all there with you. Thank you so much for your call.
1-866-405-8405. This portion of Animal Radio is brought to you by Stella and Chewy's, natural goodness for dogs, made with raw USDA-inspected meat. Of course, it's raised naturally. There's no added hormones or nasty antibiotics. Get the official food of Animal Radio. Visit StellaandChewy's.com. And, of course, you can get the free sample we're always talking about.
You got to try this stuff.
We encourage you, yeah.
Yeah, I think you should try all foods before you buy it.
Loves it. I am a witness.
Yes. She holds me hostage until she gets her Stella and Chewy.
She knows what cupboard it's in.
Hal, how tall are you?
I can't reach way
He's
up
like
there.
6'5", okay? Hal's hugely tall. Ladybug is like what, 6 inches off the ground?
Maybe.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Holding you hostage. I just wanted to paint that mental picture for our radio audience.
Well, people that have met Ladybug know this could be true.
Yeah. Well,
She is one tough cookie.
Yes, she is.
Stella and Chewy's is that good. It can hold me hostage, and we'd like to send you a sample. Send us a self-addressed stamped envelope, and we'll send back a sample. All the details, the address, all that information over at the website at animalradio.com. They also have those chicken treats, which have only chicken. Great for the cats, too.
Oh, it's a healthy treat, so you don't feel like you're feeding your pet junk.
Good stuff. Stella and Chewy's.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
This is an Animal Radio news update brought to you by World's Best Cat Litter, the only litter made from whole kernel corn.
I'm Bobby Hill for Animal Radio. Pet hair is helping sop up the oil spill in the Gulf. Bay Area organization Matter of Trust uses the pet hair to make mats and booms that are used to contain the oil spill. Close to 1,000 Petco stores have begun donating fur to the cause rather than just discarding it. The company hopes to ship a ton of fur each day to the massive Gulf of Mexico oil spill. A UCLA professor of environmental health science says, quote, "It's cost effective and it works well," end quote. And if an UCLA professor says that, it must be true. In April, a German Shepherd near death was found in a garage in Bellflower. His owner was arrested and charged with animal cruelty. The good news is that Courage, the dog, is not only thriving after extensive veterinary treatment, he's also got a new home. The dog's former owner worked as a kennel attendant at an Irvine veterinary clinic. Kimberly Nazzato was fired, faces 1 felony animal cruelty count and a misdemeanor failure to provide care count. Courage's new owner is one of the volunteers at the German Shepherd Rescue of Orange County and prefers to remain anonymous. Authorities in the outback Northern Territory of Australia have a Randy Roo on their hands, so to speak.
Okay.
Several women have reported a horny kangaroo hopping along the honeymoon ranges near the township of Tennant Creek. I'm not making this up. It's the truth. The amorous macropod, there's one for you when you're on Jeopardy next time, reportedly attempted to, quote, dry hump a woman on her walk. She told the local papers, quote, there was no doubt what he wanted, the randy old thing, end quote. A second encounter reportedly left one man injured when he tried to stop the kangaroo from approaching a mother of 3. Northern Territory police told Reuters that unless the kangaroo reappears, they won't be conducting any searches. I'm Bobby Hill for Animal Radio. Get more breaking animal news at animalradio.com.
This has been an Animal Radio News Update brought to you by World's Best Cat Litter. Here's a tip for traveling with your cat. If she's not familiar with crate travel, consider placing the crate in your home for a few weeks before your departure. Leave the door open and occasionally toss in a treat or two. Sooner or later, your cat will view the spot as a comfortable retreat. Get more tips from Dr. McPete at www.worldsbestcatlitter.com/radio.
This portion of Animal Radio brought to you by
Herb Springer's Quick Release Dog Training Collar. Very humane, very gentle. Find a store near you at animalradio.com. It's officially the beginning of summer as we kick off this Memorial Day weekend. The next few weeks, we'll give you some great tips, ideas, where to take your pets. Good pet destinations for the summer. A new segment that we're having. It's going to be starting in just a few weeks. Does Susan have anything to do with that segment?
I don't know.
Where are we going?
Well,
are we going on the road too?
No, we're going to still be in the studio. Susan's the only one that they allow on the road.
Yeah.
It's.
We have to lock Hal away in the studio.
Or we could lock Susan away. We could all go and play.
There you go.
There you go.
That's a great idea.
I could pretend I'm Susan.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, nobody would know the difference.
Oh, good. Now you're in trouble. Okay. Hey, Joey, you ready for a tip?
I'm so ready. You don't even know.
Well, let's give the listeners a brand new tip. Usually saves you a little bit of money, just like Senior Pet Products, and this tip is brought to you by Senior Pet Products. Head on over to seniorpetproducts.com and check out what you'll need for your senior pets and just information about how they can grow old gracefully. There's a lot of research there.
A lot of
resources.
Very helpful.
It's not just a website where you can get products that are good for older pets or that products that keep your pets forever young. When you go over there, look on the front page, there's the Animal Radio logo, and there's a place where you put in the promo code. If you put in the promo code Radio SPP, that's Radio SPP, all that enters said code will receive 25% off their entire purchase.
Jeez, that's great.
You know what, though?
Yes.
I don't want people shouldn't be deceived because it's not only for senior pets. There's a lot of good stuff in there for all pets. So if you go on there, you can save money as well for your puppies, for your middle-aged dogs, cats. They're not all just for senior dogs. There's a lot of good stuff on there.
And now let's face it, any company that sponsors Joey Villani in this tip, it's not half bad. SeniorPetProducts.com. And Guido, do we have Joey's music, please? You should have that queued up already. Thank you. Guido's a little slow today. Joey Villani, ladies and gentlemen, with his tip for the week.
Okay, now I'll tell you what. I had a woman that emailed me, and what she said was she had to say,
right. Okay.
Oh, so you, and it wasn't my wife or my mother, Hal. Okay. I had a woman that emailed me, and she has a Siberian Husky, and you know how they can shed.
Yeah.
And what she said was, it's going to the groomer to get this initial shedding out is costly. And it absolutely is, because these are one of those dogs that come in. I mean, this is not a job. When you come into the professional groomer, we don't want to do them either because of the mess that it's going to leave behind. Oh, and it is. I mean, your place going to be pristine, and by the time you're done with that dog, it's such a mess that the $125 charge you were thinking about charging probably just turned to $150 real easily. And that is not exaggerating.
Yeah.
When these dogs come in at this time of the year. So what she said is she bathes the dog, and being that we're out here in California, and she's in California, she does it outside because you have the nice weather, and then she lets the dog dry. But what happens is she loosens up all that hair. So now when the dog comes in the house, clumps of hair are falling everywhere. It's almost like we're snowing and raining hair. So she wanted to know what can she do, because when she dry brushes it, it doesn't come out as easy. The dog doesn't seem to like it. So here's my tip. First thing you're going to do is you're going to wash your dog. Now, I don't care what anybody says. You need a conditioner. Now, people who have hard-coated dogs like terriers say that you shouldn't condition the coat. Well, there's certain conditioners that you should use and you should always use. When you wash your hair, Hal, okay, if you didn't condition it, wouldn't it be unmanageable?
It would be waving at you right now. It would be all over.
Well, the same thing with a pet. What happens is our dog's coat has a negative charge to it. So what happens is when we shampoo it, we make it a positive charge. So what we have to do is we got to get it back to a negative. So you have to put that conditioner on. While that conditioner is sitting on your pet, you're going to take, and if it's that type of dog, you're going to use a slicker brush. And the slicker brush it has short metal pins that are bent back a little bit. So when you brush, they actually grab the coat. And you can get them on Senior Pet Products. You can go right on their website and get them.
Okay.
If it's a short-haired dog, you can use a curry brush. Use the proper brush that you would use for your dog's coat. Run that through, back and forth. You don't have to do it real hard. It's going to grab. Now, what the conditioner does, it acts as if it's a silicone, so it's going to help remove everything. If you can, try to get a comb through it as well, and comb through every inch of your pet. Rinse it off, and when your dog dries, you are not going to have that horrible mess. You're going to save a lot of money. The dog is going to feel good. You're going to think that you're a professional groomer, which you're not, but you know what? Your dog's going to look good anyway. And everyone's going to be happy in the end, especially your bank account, because you're not going to go for that extra $150, $125, and depending what it is, if you come to me, it could be $200 because I'm just that good.
You used to have one, didn't you?
I used to have one, yeah. And during shedding season, I basically kept him out in my backyard. It looked like it was full of snow. But I had a friend who also had one in the house, and he waited until the dog finished shedding before he vacuumed. I mean, you would have to wade through his house. You couldn't sit on any furniture. It was horrible.
So did you ever try wet brushing or wet combing your dog?
No, I didn't. It was just kind
it would make such a difference because everything doesn't fly. So what happens is everything just stays in one area. So you just keep making a pile, and then you can put it in a bag and send it over to you could send it into the Gulf to help
oil
suck up some of that oil.
Yeah. I just left him in the backyard, hoping it would fly over to the neighbor's yard or something.
That's usually the way that.
Do you know we had people that used to come to the salon and ask for hair, and they would put it in their in by their tomato plants and gardening, and they said that pests would stay away. When they pests, we usually mean rodents.
Wow.
And I don't know why that is, but a lot of people used to come by and ask for it, and I just said okay, because what the hell am I going to do it anyway?
I'm thinking it's the smell of the animal would scare away the other animals or something like that.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, like
either that or they grow a hair tree.
Yeah.
Got hair in my mouth just talking about
there's
this.
Hair's always flying around the studio here.
Yeah. There's not a meal that we have here at the studios that doesn't have hair in it.
Oh, hair-covered donuts. It sticks really well.
We talked to a lady who used to make sweaters out of all that hair. And
Yeah.
stuff.
She out of her pet's hair. You can send it to her, and she would
spin it,
and weave it into coats and purses or anything you would like.
So don't throw away that hair. Joey Villani,
you guys better have a donut or two in you because
that's what I'm saying.
You weren't that excited about my tip today, which I thought was just wonderful, and I'm not getting any satisfaction here, guys.
You know what? You're absolutely right. It is an awesome tip. Of course, it's exclusively on Animal Radio with Joey Villani, ladies and gentlemen.
Animal Radio is brought to you by SeniorPetProducts.com. As your best friend settles into middle age and shows signs of slowing down, SeniorPetProducts.com is there to help your senior pets live to the fullest with thousands of products for the life of your pet. SeniorPetProducts.com.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more about today's guest at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
Dogs or cats, horse or emu, animals are people too. Zookeepers at Vienna's Schönbrunn Zoo had almost given up. They had tried romantic music, aphrodisiac foods, and even erotic koala bear movies, but they still couldn't get their male koala bears in the mood for love. Until Chumby. Chumby, a 5-year-old koala male from Scotland, was brought in to show the shy koalas the facts of life. Chumby has definitely lived up to his Casanova reputation. Zoo officials are saying that he's been going non-stop since he got there, only stopping to eat and sleep, and now their own male is joining in. Chumby was so successful that now other zoos are lining up for his inspiring services. I'm Britt Savage for Animal Radio. Animals are people too. Animal Radio.
As your best friend settles into middle age and shows signs of slowing down, SeniorPetProducts.com is there to help your senior pets live to the fullest by providing the latest news, information, and products for health, wellness, comfort, and mobility. At SeniorPetProducts.com, you'll find everything your aging pets need, from vitamins and supplements to diapers, boots, and accessories that'll make their senior years more comfortable, all at the lowest prices available. Thousands of products for the life of your pet. SeniorPetProducts.com.
When Animal Radio picked America's top vet, they wanted to make sure that your animal's health came first. That's why they picked the Paso Robles Veterinary Medical Clinic. Treating animals for over 50 years with the latest diagnostic tools in their full-service hospital, the Paso Robles Veterinary Medical Clinic always puts your pets first. Call 805-238-4622 or visit them at PasoVets.com. That's Paso, P-A-S-O, Vets.com to get the best care for your pet.
Let's face it, life happens. From spills to pet stains, One Shot Plus Multi-Purpose Cleaner attacks everyday stains, eliminating the need for other cleaning products. Pet stains, crayon marks, mildew, One Shot, and it's gone. Safe for the environment, your pets, and your family. Call 1-800-874-7070 and mention Animal Radio. That's 1-800-874-7070. Or go to OneShotPlus.com to get yours now.
Why read a newspaper in the age of the internet? Because you take the time to think things through, like your love of animals. You want to know where your voice and donations can be most effective. Animal People is the newspaper for people who care enough about animals to give real thought to how best to help animals. Request your free sample copy at www.animalpeoplenews.org.
You're listening to Animal Radio.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, can you close that door behind you? Trying to keep the air conditioning in today. It's hot here.
It's warm here.
It's very hot.
It's warm in here. It is.
Not like it used to be in Jersey.
Oh, we're going to go there, are we?
He always does. You know that.
Let's see. Coming up in the news, your extra pet hair could clean up the oil spill in the Gulf.
I know groomers that are sending it.
Yeah.
That are sending it over. Yes.
This is very much on the level here. And, we'll have to talk to you about that in just a second. I know we got to get these phones taken care of here. Seems like all we've been doing is yapping. Hey, Joy, how are you doing?
I'm pretty marvelous. How about yourself?
You ready to talk to some animals?
Absolutely.
Okay, I believe we have... Which one are we going to, Judith?
Let's go to line 2. We have Luann.
Luann. Hey, Luann, how are you?
Hi, how are you today?
Very good. You're on with animal communicator Joy Turner.
Hi, Joy. How are you? I'm good. About 2 months ago, I had my dog put down. His name was Bob. SpongeBob. We just called him Bob. And he was just a sweetheart, but he had stomach problems. And I just have, I'm just so heartbroken over it. And I just want to know if you feel I put him down too soon.
Well, I cannot have to tell you what I feel. I can actually talk to Bob and tell you how he feels about it.
That would be wonderful.
Good. And first of all, he comes into my head and he goes in a big, big, loud voice, hello! And he says, no, everything was fine. He thinks you did a perfect job to take care of him, and that's really what he needed.
Okay.
He said, that he understands that you did what you thought was the very best for him, and he understands that.
Well, I was with him when they put him down. It was really difficult.
He said he also knows that, and that's part of the reason he appreciates you taking such good care of him even when it was so hard for you.
Yeah.
And he says to tell you that he's sorry you feel bad, but he'd really like to know what he could do or say that would help you feel better.
Well, we just got a new puppy about 3 weeks ago. I'd like to know what he thinks of him.
He thinks he's spunky, he says.
Oh, he is spunky.
And he said, do you think that's too much? To be that spunky is too much, or do you like that?
Well, it kind of wasn't my decision to get the new guy, but, of course, he spends most of his time with me, and that's okay.
He says he thinks the new guy is just a little over the top sometimes, but he thinks it's going to be actually good for you, and he said he wants you to know that you can love that dog and not take anything away from the love that you have for him. He's actually happy that you have a new dog.
Well, Bob was just a sweet guy, everyone loved him.
He says he knows, but you'll love the new one, too.
Yeah, I do. What's he think of his name?
He's laughing for some reason. What is the new one's name?
Dwight.
Dwight.
Yeah, I don't know why he's laughing, but he thinks that's pretty funny.
Yeah. Well, his name's Dwight Schrute, so.
That's the guy from The Office.
Yeah. There's a little spunky character on The Office.
Yeah. That's exactly who he's named after. Bob liked to watch The Office with us. It's kind of like our family show, The Office, and this guy's our new dog's just such a ding-dong. We had to name him Dwight Schrute, so.
I understand. Luann, I hope that answers some questions. Go give Dwight a big old hug from all of us here at Animal Radio, and we appreciate your call. 1-866-405-8405 to connect with anyone of the Dream Team.
Hi, this is Jenna Fisher on Animal Radio. Please spay and neuter your animals.
This is
Animal Radio.
Bobby, you're sort of a journalist. Wouldn't people call you a journalist?
Just sort of, because probably I have a degree in it. But yeah, go ahead, Hal.
There's a journalist, Craig Welch, and we're going to talk to him in just a second. Your beat is the animals for Animal Radio. You're anytime there's an animal story, you're all over it. Mm-hmm. Craig Welch's beat is a wildlife crime beat in the Puget Sound. That's up there in
That's a beautiful
Washington.
place.
Is that Washington up there?
Yes, Washington
Beautiful.
State. Mm-hmm.
So I guess he writes about it, and you'd think it would be boring just writing about, the fish, right? That shows you how ignorant I am and how little I know. It's really an amazing ecosystem up there, and there are fish cops. Fish cops. Fish cops. There's a whole thing going on there, so it makes sense that he would have this beat, and he writes about it in a new book called Shell Games. Now, I'll be real honest, I have not picked up the book yet. I hate hosts that do interviews and they haven't read the book or anything like that.
How?
It's ignorant. But I was out of town last week.
Okay.
And I've read a little bit of information, and gratefully we have him on the air to explain this to me. Hi, Craig. How are you doing?
I'm good. Hi, Hal. How are you?
Very good. So tell us, what kind of crime goes on in the Puget Sound with the marine wildlife? What are we really talking about there?
Well, we're talking about some really fascinating crime, actually. There are folks who will go out and steal clams from underwater, and we're not talking a small amount of clams, but millions of dollars worth of clams.
Are you talking about that gooey duck?
I like that word, gooey duck.
Yes, and it's not just the gooey duck, but yes, we're talking about the gooey duck, which is an unusual clam found nowhere in the world except for the Pacific Northwest, and it is about the size of your fist, but it has a long siphon that can stretch the length of a man's arm.
What were you telling me it looked like earlier there, Judy?
I wasn't telling you it looked like anything. I was reading that there was a reference.
It's phallic, Hal.
Okay. There. Thank you, Bobby.
Is it primarily used for food?
It is. It's a very popular as a seafood delicacy in Japan, in Hong Kong, and in China.
Have you ever tried it?
I have. It's very sweet. It's a little chewier than your average clam. It's definitely an acquired taste, but I hear other people find it fascinating.
Is it something that people can get legally and have it in restaurants? Or
absolutely. There is a legal gooey duck fishery in Puget Sound, and there's also one in Vancouver, British Columbia. But it's very difficult to police, and what you end up with is there's so much money to be made that you find people. We've had arsonists who are blowing up rivals' boats. We've had federal agents using undercover informants to catch people stealing these clams. And we've actually at one point had a guy who tried to hire a hitman to off one of his rivals.
Wow.
And
this is all over clams.
Yes. All over clams. And it's part of a much larger underworld of wildlife crime in the United States. I don't think people know much about.
No, I don't. Tell me more. I mean, is it just the clams in that area? Is it other fish in other areas? I've heard about this.
No, there's poaching. Black bears in California. It's all over. Go ahead, Craig.
Exactly. The black bears in California. You have sturgeon in California. There are turtles up and down the East Coast. There were people arrested in New York State a couple of years ago for packing rattlesnakes into the doors of pickup trucks and then driving them illegally over the border to Canada where they were sold.
Now, Bobby, there was a story a couple of weeks back in the news, some fishery there down on Pico in L.A. that shut down from protesters. They were serving that, was it dolphin? Was it whale? Do you remember that story?
It was whale.
Was it whale?
One of them was whale, yeah.
Yep, they were serving whale meat to high-end customers in a back room.
Mm-hmm.
That's so weird.
And while it may be a delicacy elsewhere, we're not so into it. And like Craig said, it's illegal.
It is illegal. And, this is a growing phenomenon. I think most people think of wildlife crime as happening overseas, but it's a growing phenomenon here in this country. And there are folks who go to great lengths to actually try and take wildlife, and they find markets for it overseas. It's just one of the byproducts of globalization.
It seems like a whole mafia type of organization with just like narcotics or something like that. I mean, it's really, there's a lot of action. The fish cops is what intrigues me.
Mm-hmm.
Their life is like any other cop, pretty much.
In fact, they will tell you that in some ways they think their life is harder because, if somebody finds a bag of cocaine, it's illegal. If you find gooey duck, it may be illegal or it may not be. It depends on where it was taken, when it was taken, who it was taken by, what time of day.
Wow.
It's a very difficult thing to police.
You wrote a book called Shell Games.
I did.
And I assume it's about this. And I guess the thing that we're having trouble figuring out, is it fiction? Is it nonfiction? Is it a mixture? What is happening in Shell Games?
Shell Games is an entirely true story.
Okay.
It goes back, it starts in 1994, and it is basically a 10-year saga of folks who are stealing gooey duck clams, and it's all basically told around one cop and his informant, and they basically have a cat and mouse story that goes on for 10 years and involves millions of dollars in clams. It involves hitmen, some arsonists, lots and lots of undercover operations, and it's all entirely true.
Are the names all the same? I mean, like this fish cop, Ed Volz.
Did the lawyers make you change the name?
Yeah.
Nope. All of the names are real. Everything about it is real. I gathered about 30,000 pages of documents to tell this story, and I worked very hard to make sure everything was true.
I want to know if they got the guy, but I don't want you to give it away. So
well, and you know,
spoilers.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it's actually more complicated than that. It turns out that there are more than one person leading these kind of organizations.
We have 10 copies, but I'm going to only give out 9.
You're going to read it, aren't you? Now you want to read it.
This is a great book.
Yeah.
Shell Games by Craig Welch. It is on the, I guess William Morrow, his HarperCollins publishers, published this, and you can get it at your local bookstore. Ask them to order if they don't have it. It is a bestseller right now. Also on Amazon, Borders, Barnes & Noble, they all have it there. Craig, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
1-866-405-8405 right now to pick up on Shell Games. Once again, it's gone by really, really fast. If you want to get in touch with us during the week, the phone is open. There's a voicemail. If we're not in the studios, you can leave a voicemail message, and we can get you.
You can Twitter us.
Oh, I keep forgetting about that because that's your world.
Yeah.
How does someone Twitter us? I don't know that.
Twitter.com/Animal Radio.
That easy.
So we can tweet you, and then can you tweet us?
Mm-hmm.
And then
I will tweet you in return.
Besides our phones being open all week, you can email us at yourvoice@animalradio.com. And we'll see you here next week for more Animal Radio. Have a great week.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Always adopt, don't declaw.
This is Animal Radio
Network.